Well, welcome back to Timeline Ranch. It's morning. I'll show you what I'm up to today. So, warming the building up. It's around 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius outside. I'll tell you what, this morning when I came down and got to the stone here, this was still nice and warm. It was actually warmer than the stove was. So yeah, this stone's going to work real good for a heat sink. These shelves I'm going to put above this is also going to act as a pretty decent heat sink as well. You know, it's 1.5 inches of that riverbed gravel. So that's kind of what I was looking at. You know, this, if you caught the video, the last video, this level point here is where the first shelf's going to go. And these are set up enough that I can go ahead and set that shelf. And then I'll do the stonework up to 20 inches higher. And that'll be the bottom of the second shelf. And that should put it high enough that I can get a bracket onto the stainless, this double wall insulated stainless flue pipe. It's made for that. Those are really exterior brackets that I have, the wall brackets. But I'm going to use them. I'm going to mount it to that shelf, extend out to support the vertical sections there. I'm going to have to alter it upstairs because it's single wall to fit single wall. So today I'm going to try to I'll get this shelf in, build the stonework up 20 inches, stop there, let that set until tomorrow, and then I can put the second shelf and finish it out. I'm going to stop one course shy of going all the way to the top though until I get the sheetrock in up here. I don't think I want to take it all the way up there until I get that sheetrock in. It's not a big deal to leave that out and put it in later. Yeah, this is looking just like I had envisioned it. It'll look real nice. Probably going to go with a fairly dark brown paint for the trim. I think it'll be a nice contrast to this bone or cream color. And then the red oak veneer below that matches that dark brown trim paint real nice. And then the contrast of that fossilized limestone border, you know, transition off of this section here behind the wood burning stove along the edge there. It's going to look real good. So I did a little organizing this morning. I cleaned up this corner where I can get to my stone shelves that I made quite a while back. So I was kind of trying to figure out how this is going to work. I need to cut, so I've got 20 inches from the back corner, which, you know, this will sit in the corner there, out to the back of the flue pipe on the stove. So I decided I need to cut off 6.5 inches of this shelf to give me 20.5 inches to this point right here, which will be the back of the flue pipe. And then this first shelf I'm not going to attach the bracket to, but the upper one I will. So I'm going to need to cut a flat point to attach, you know, these attachment points it has here to the shelf. But the bottom one needs to match. You know, I don't want them different depths. So I needed to lay out where it was going to be. It looks like 6.5 inches, and this 6.5 inches can be used to make my window sills. Because I'm going to make my window sills out of that same stone. And it's going to come out just about right. I need 8. I've got 8 windows, and I'll have 8 pieces left out of those other, you know, shelves, all 4 shelves. So it's going to work out real good. Basically, I'm not wasting anything. That'll still give me about a 10 inch wide shelf here, and then of course it'll get larger in that back corner because it's a corner. So I'm gonna take this outside, and it is not light, and cut 6.5 inches off of these 2 sides, and then I'll set that above the stove and go back to doing some stonework again. Well, let me get started. That was a little awkward. Would have been easy with two people, one on each side. It's not how I work, though. Yeah, that looks nice. I just put some pencil marks to know exactly where I need to put the tile adhesive. I'm going to just put it on the top part of this limestone, this fossilized limestone, and then on the back. And once I push it into place, you know, that's going to bond real good. I don't even remember how long ago I made those shelves. This is where they were supposed to go, though. I like it when you can make a corner shelf, you know, where you don't have any L supports underneath it. It looks real clean. Now I'll go back over and put an epoxy coat on this shelf once I get it in place. I just had some left. If you saw that video a long time ago, and I wanted to use it up, so put that first coat on it. Kind of seals it and fills in a couple of the little air pockets and stuff that are in there. Looks like my water's on the verge of boiling. Get the shelf off real quick, make sure I don't have any dust interfere with the bond. Yeah, that was a little better. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that turned out looking real nice. It'll look even nicer when I put the second coat of epoxy on here. Yeah, the shelf turned out real nice and level too. The flue's in the way to get a straight shot at it, but yeah, right on the money. Like I said, I'll get one more. I'm gonna go up 20 inches. Get my measuring tape here. I'm gonna go up 20 inches, and that'll put me high enough that I get the bracket on this double wall insulated flue pipe. And that'll still leave, you know, a good, I don't know, 14 inches or so between the ceiling and the top shelf, which is plenty to put something up here. This lower one, you know, it's getting pretty good heat off this flue. Not real hot, but this one up here is not going to be getting that much heat. This is going to block the heat that's rising. And then this flue pipe, you know, it's hot, but it's not so hot. And it's burning hot right now too. It's almost 400. It was 400 degrees a minute ago. So it doesn't put off that much. It's, you know, you just need 2 inches of clearance between this and combustible, so it can't get that hot. And that'll look real clean with that bracket. Make it nice and supported too. And I'm gonna do the same scenario upstairs. And this stone will blend in nice because the stairs are going to be all that capped with that stone. And then I'll also have the window sills made out of that stone. And I may put a few more shelves here and there with it. And of course the base for the shower is going to be made out of that. I'm going to build it in place. And the countertops for the kitchen will be made out of that. I mean, you can't go wrong on the price. Plus it's made from, you know, local material here. Yeah, I think that'll look real nice. The countertop on the vanity in the restroom, the shower base. I may even make the shelves and the linen closet out of it. It's a little bit of work, but you know, when it's done, and it's unique. But I guess let me put some more stone on the wall. We'll go up 20 inches. Once that sets up, there's no way that shelf could come out of there. I went ahead and cut the second shelf down to the size that it needs to be, just so I can get the exact edge of it. And now I'm going to lay out the horizontal mark of where the bottom of it will be sitting, because I need to make this cut here in stone, you know, and it's going to sit directly on that. I can shim it if I have to, but I'd rather just it sit right on the stone. So that's what I'm shooting for. I think it can be done. Well, in a perfect world, that should be nice and level. We'll see how it turns out. Well, this is the last piece I can do downstairs for today. I'll let all that set up, and then I can put that other shelf up there. I'm going to dry fit it, get my exact center where the flue's at, and then I have to notch the shelf itself to allow for that bracket, that wall bracket, to go into it. And then I've got to be real careful drilling a few holes for anchors. Hopefully I don't blow a chunk out of the shelf. That sure be disappointing. My plan B for that is only put one shelf upstairs. Well, I'll definitely be getting my exercise going up and down the stairs carrying this limestone. It's one thing I never paid for, exercise. Glad to see get to use all this limestone finally. I've been piling it up out there for a year now. A little over a year. Like I said on another video, this tile adhesive makes a very good glaze. It hardens up pretty quick. It sticks to almost anything. Once it hardens, it's good to sand. Right on the money. And the cuts begin. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day on that one. Got past the plug anyway. That was the only cuts I had down here. I gotta do a little notch out around that pull box, but all the way up to the first shelf, shouldn't be any cuts. Any hard cuts anyway. Well, that's gonna be it for the day. At least I got past that cuts around that receptacle. There's a lot of little cuts for the ears that stick out for the screws and makes it a little bit harder. So I'll be back up here tomorrow. Yeah, this is starting to look real nice here. Tomorrow I'll have the other shelf up. I can go ahead and finish the stonework up as high as I can go for now until the ceiling's in. Yeah, I think it's looking real good though. And I'm going to put that other shelf, just dry fit it up there and get the exact center, and then put the bracket on there so I could set it over the shelf to see exactly where it's going to sit. It has a little bit of adjustment in it, about a ½ inch either way, but that's not a whole lot. And I don't want to cut the shelf in the wrong spot. At least I have one little corner of the building that'll be complete. I just need to grout it. I have some grout, but I probably won't get to that this trip. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you on the next one.